Robert and Nicole, kia ora.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'll take my report as read and I'll just make a couple of comments before I take any questions. So this is the twice yearly report for you to decide on priority submissions for the council group for the next 6 months. As noted in the report, the committee is being asked to approve that staff commence a process of preparing submissions on these consultations when they begin, but this decision does not approve the final submission. Staff will follow the normal processes for preparation of the submissions as they arise, and will engage with the appropriate committee for direction and approval of the submission. This time around, there are 4 consultations being recommended as priorities for your approval. Amendments to the Building Act, legislation to introduce the rates capping system, amendments on the Sale and Supply of Alcohol Act, and move-on orders for disorderly behaviour. I'll just note that the Sale and Supply of Alcohol Bill, the Sale and Supply of Alcohol Improving Alcohol Regulation Amendment Bill, to give it its full name, has already had its first reading, and the submissions are due by the 14th of May. The other bills recommended as priorities have yet to be introduced. We're also asking for the committee to renew the delegation to the chair and deputy chair to allow them to approve submissions as priorities in between committee meetings. This delegation was in place in the last term, and it is helpful when unexpected consultations arise at short notice. And with that, I'm happy to take any questions through the chair.
Thank you, Robert. And I did ask in the pre-agenda why Haukura weren't on that delegation. And just to clarify, because also Councillor Filipaina has asked, that is not to approve any submission or even approve any content. That is, if something pops up in a time we don't have a meeting, Councillor Ferry and I can go, I think you should start preparing this submission, and then it will come. But I am happy for Haukura to be involved in that if they want, but I think it's more of a, we've got 8 days turnaround for this sudden RMA change or something. You know, we have seen that over the last 5 or 6 years where it can happen quickly. So it's really about, we will go, I think you should start preparing and then go through a normal process after that. This is not about myself and Councillor Ferry just approving content or approving direction. It's just about please start the work. Is that my understanding?
Yes, that's correct, Mr. Chair. And my understanding is that Haukura would prefer not to be involved in that decision in every case, but obviously there'd be an expectation, as usual, that we would talk with Haukura, or yourself and Councillor Ferry might talk to Haukura to get views on that. But again, as you say, if there was a contrary view, if Haukura wanted to be part of that delegation, we would have no objection to that.
No, it just looked like a glaring thing to me until I understood what exactly the content it meant. So, kia ora and thank you. I'm happy to move this as seconder. Councillor Filipaina's eyebrows got you before your hand, Councillor Ferry. Were there any other questions to... Oh, sorry. Sorry, Councillor Filipaina was for the question.
Supplementary to what the chair says, and again, not all your supplementary to the chair. So all it is, and I understand that it was done in the last term, but it's not setting what the content of that submission is going to be. It's just that permission that you get from the chair and deputy chair to say you go and have a look at a submission, and it's based on the 4 that is in the recommendations that we see in front of us. Am I correct in that?
Yes, thanks for the question, and through the chair. So the delegation, it's broader than the 4 that are being asked for approval in the resolution. What it means is that for any submission opportunity that comes up where the timeframes don't allow for the staff to come to the committee and ask for permission to start on the submission, that the chair and the deputy chair can give that permission. But you're right, that doesn't say anything in terms of the content. Once that decision has been made, then the staff who are leading the submission will still then come to the appropriate committee around the content of the submission and to get approval for the submission itself.
And just supplementary, the retrospective submission that comes to the first opportunity for the committee.
No, it wouldn't be a retrospective approval. We don't normally do those. Yeah.
Just through the chair, I think it's a really good point, Councillor. We've, with a slight spelling error, we've just suggested being clear to say to start preparing submissions. So what we're trying to say is we're just starting the work. If it comes out of sequence, ultimately any decision is going to be made through the relevant committee or any other delegation, but it's not that one. Yeah, if that's okay.
Yeah, and to clarify this, and I know it's sort of out of order, but we started doing this process because we have been, and unfortunately our staff have been completely overwhelmed with change, some of it good, some of it confusing, some of it not supported by us, but from the last government and the current government, the kind of onslaught of extreme amount of change, and we were often missing time frames or having to prepare submissions 3 or 4 days or over a weekend. This lets staff start to bring in our current policies, our current plans, our current positions, what we've submitted on before, and start to build the submission. If there are changes in positions, then they come to the committee, but they start building that to bring to committee as like a first cut or a we think we're aligned. But before, you might remember 3 or 4 years ago, for those who are here, it was like, we want to prepare a submission by next Monday, and we just weren't able to. It's a huge amount of work that actually goes into preparing these submissions, technical, getting mana whenua and local board views and so on. So although we don't know the contents of even these, we will start building in current positions, etc. Councillor Gillan.
Well, thank you. Under the delegation, how will we be informed of where there's been a decision not to proceed with a submission? Just so we're not sitting around waiting for this to come up and actually to find that, oh no, last week it was decided the council wasn't going to do a submission on it.
Thank you for the question. Yeah, that's something we'll have to take away. We don't currently have a process for doing that, but definitely we could look at including that in the process. So normally, in terms of the approval process, it's via email to the chair and the deputy, but certainly, we can have a look at how we would then communicate what that decision is to the committee more broadly.
And then the other one was that you've got on the watching brief the national instruments for planning and natural environment bills. I would have thought that was quite an important one to have as a priority. So can you just explain why that's on watching brief?
It's on a watching brief because of the time frames when those are expected to arrive fall outside the time frame that we're looking at here, or it's uncertain. So that's normally where they're a watching brief. So we're acknowledging that, yes, it is likely to be of importance, but normally there's not enough information, which isn't the case here, or they're expected not to fall within this time frame when the consultation will commence.
It's unlikely to be this year, I think. But Deputy Mayor.
Oh, thanks, Chair. Look, my question's actually to the Mayor. Good. And it's re B. And I understand, look, I absolutely understand where you're coming from, Chair, around giving it approval. But we've just signed a regional deal last Friday. That means that we shouldn't have any unexpected consultations, because we are now going to work all nicely together and get lots of notice. So arguably, my question to the Mayor is, do we need B, Your Worship?
It's a very cute
I
patsy.
think we should add a C that if in the event of unexpected consultations, we should refer the government back to the city deal. No, in the likely event of unexpected consultations, C, in fact, it's worth doing. We should have C there, and we should refer the government back to the Auckland city deal. So rather than have a submission, we just say, no, well, hang on, mate, you haven't told us about this. And so particularly anything which doesn't allow time to come to one of the council's relevant committees or the governing body is clearly ultra vires the city deal. So I think the Deputy Mayor raises a very good point there. We shouldn't be put in these positions. Even in a grown-up society, that should never occur anyhow. But so I would ask with permission of the mover and the seconder to add C, which is in the event of unexpected consultations due to changing government priorities, that they are referred back, the government is referred back to the Auckland City deal.
Okay, I think we could do a B, note there should not be any unexpected consultations.
But in the unlikely, highly unlikely.
But if there are, all government ministries,
Sorry, Chair, it's just that I understand you've done this well in advance, and I get that, but that's one of the biggest things that last Friday was all about, is so that this actually didn't happen.
yes, I remember the Local Government Amendment Act that we never got spoken about. We'll work it out. We understand the flavour, the poor officers here trying to figure it out. But I think, yeah, it's a noting basically to say that B should not really happen anyway. Under the new found love fest we have joined in. I don't think they submit on anything we do. Well, they might. Right, sorry, Councillor Butt.
Thank you. I just wanted clarification on which committees, because from my reading of it, 1, 3 and 4 would come to Regulatory and Safety Committee. Is that right? And we have a committee on the 30th of April. So would it be coming there for approval of the content?
In terms of, so the Sale and Supply of Alcohol Act may well be coming to that committee. I'm not sure what committee date it's currently planned for. They're in the early processes of developing that submission. The others haven't been introduced yet, so they won't be coming to that committee meeting. If that's the relevant committee, then that's the committee they should be coming to, yeah. So to make it clear, they don't all come back to this committee. They do go to the relevant subject matter committee to be approved.
Thank you.
There are no more questions? We'll work on it, because normally additions should be sent through, Deputy Mayor, but...
But the deal didn't exist until 4 days ago.
Yeah, I meant like 9 a.m. this morning. Right. I'll just get you both to step back. I think we've got... Thank you. Cool. So I think it's going to say C, note that there should not be any unexpected consultations as per the Auckland deal signed with the central government. Is that fine? Well, we still have, there are things that pop up, maybe we'll agree that it's popped up, but we don't, but it's still unexpected. I don't know. Maybe we've asked them to change something. And it's happened very quickly. Okay. Yeah. We can make it in purple if you would like. Right. Are there anyone else who'd like to speak to this? Right. All those in favour? Aye. Any opposed? Oh, perfect. Right. We have. We'll be back at 1:15. So there's a